This is the Manolo Show with me, Josh Everton, Andy Simcox, Alan Smith, and Craig Wood. We're going to react to Barnsley's 1-1 draw against Shrewsbury Town and preview Fleetwood Town on Saturday. Let's get into it. So, Craig, a bit of a disappointing result against Shrewsbury, obviously a side in which we would have been expecting to take all 3 points from, but not necessarily not a bad performance in a way. Dominant performance, just reached that second half against Exeter to me.
Yeah, it's one of them. We get away a cheap, sloppy goal, and we were up against 11 men defending again all game, time wasting from first half, from what I saw. We were completely dominant the whole game. They had a few counter attacks. We struggled to hit the target in this game. I feel like we had a few wayward shots that were going over. A few deflections that didn't go our way that could have quite easily gone the other way. I think Adam Phillips had one. Connor Grant had another one. We ended up getting a penalty, and it was a penalty. It clearly took Jejivine out. He went to kick ball, completely missed it, and kicked Jejivine, so people can complain and say that was a penalty, but it was a clear penalty. And it's what we deserve, to be quite honest, because that would have really left a bitter taste in the mouth if we'd have lost that game. Because, like I said, we were completely dominant. 21 shots, but 4 on target. That's something we've got to work on. It was in the first half. It seemed a bit hoofball to me. I think when we had Connell in the side, we tend to completely miss his midfield and just try and lump it straight forward. And when you've got McAtee and Devante Cole up there, we were just keen at ball all the time. And then obviously when we fetched Cosgrove on, I think we put about 4 or 5 crosses in. Whereas before that, I think we were putting one in every 2 minutes. So it was yeah. I feel as though we've dropped 2 points though. They were there for the taking. Like I say, from minute dot, they were trying to waste time. It's typical Shrewsbury. Whenever we play them, they tend to want to time waste as much as possible. And yet again, second game in a row, the man of the match happens to be the opposition goalkeeper, which I think is quite funny because, I mean, the amount of times we come up against goalkeepers that have blinders against us is completely unreal. But I thought today, if I'm going on personal performances, I thought Corey O'Keefe had one of his better games this season. I really thought he was the guy to pick up the ball and drive forward with the ball, and Herbie Kane as well. I thought he had a really good game. Johnny Russell again for me. He's just not there. He's just not good enough for me. The goal that they scored, Dejuvene headed the ball out of the area, and it went into the area where Johnny Russell should have been, and he wasn't there, and that led to them getting the goal. I'm not all blaming it on Johnny Russell, but he should have been there, or one of the other midfielders should have been there to help clear that ball. But for me, hard point, but 2 points dropped.
Yeah, I think on that 2 points dropped, obviously league table wise now it looks a little bit more of a stretch to try and chase that top 2. Obviously Bolton have a game in hand over us and are 5 points clear of us. It almost seems like with all what we've got there, 15 games left, there's a bit of a gap to bridge. Might almost be playoffs in which we'll be settling for, because it's games like this where we're dropping points, and it's a problem when you're dropping points against sides like Shrewsbury. No disrespect to Shrewsbury, but league position wise, it's one of the games that we'd be expecting to turn up and be coming home with 3 points.
It is. I mean, it's as per usual, isn't it? We get that early goal against us, and we're up against it. But saying that, I thought we were a better team. If it wasn't for Morosi, it could have been 4 or 5, couldn't it? Morosi saved some good shots, and at the end of the day, it is what it is. You take a point, and another game we scored in 9 minutes. And what does that say about this fighting spirit there? And what gets me tonight on social media, fans coming out and saying it was a shocker all around this performance. I don't know what they were watching. I've no idea what game they were watching, because I thought we dictated at times, and it was that coming down our right hand side again. What is a weak link, and we know that. And yet again, we paid a price. But I thought they fought well in second half to come and try and get back into it. And if it weren't for keeper, I think we'd have had all 3 points.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the positive side to looking at, and it is it's another game where we've given away a cheap goal. I mean, you can look at it on two sides. We keep giving away cheap goals, and it's caught up with us now in the fact that we've not turned it around. And then there's the other side of 4 times we've come from behind this season after previously, 600, it was 2 years since we had come from behind and won. We've done it 4 times now this season. I think it puts us second in the league for coming from behind and winning overall. So there's 2 sides to look at it. We've got this never die attitude, but also most of the time we have to score 2 because we're giving sides a one goal head start.
It were a poor first goal. It were weak in midfield, and it were weak on our defensive, defensive right. We didn't know where he was. He were on his own out wide, and then he put it across. And we didn't die to get it clear. And I know it was an own goal by Cadden, but I'm not complaining about Cadden. We had it a few times in the second half with Devante were in a similar position, put it across, but didn't drill it across. It were truthfully, I think it were a bit pappy straight at goalkeeper. I thought we had a lot of possession in first half, and we flattered to deceive. We looked, we looked tidy, but it looked, to me personally, it looked a bit more like a training session in the first half. We didn't have that Yorkshire grit of getting under them and really going for it. It were. For me, it was just, it almost felt, I'm not saying that, well, I am saying, it felt to me like it were going through the motions a bit in the first half. It's a bit disappointing considering we conceded such an early goal. I mean, at this rate, our games at minute are so much like Groundhog Day. We're going to start signing the actor Bill Murray to play in it because it just gets a bit daft conceding a goal and then all huff and puff. But I'll give them the due as a team in the second half. They rallied. You got to give Shrewsbury some due. They're not the best team I've seen, far from it. But they didn't half get stuck in a few niggly fouls. But they got stuck in and really wanted to do it. And they defended as much as they could. And I think the equaliser were him trying to defend too much, and he went flying in. The 2 centre halves in Pierre and Shea Dunkley, they were getting weighed in. They were winning ball in air for first half and part of second half until Cosy come on. And I think the penalty were just the defender just getting stuck in. I mean, some of those chances, Pierre's on his knees on goal line trying to stop ball going over the line and getting where Devante to flick it in. So there were so many chances that. But we shouldn't be 1-0 down under those circumstances. If we'd have defended right at the start like they did, they wouldn't have scored. We were a bit miles too pappy for that first goal for me. We'd not got out at blocks. And for the rest of the first half, we didn't get out at blocks properly. We had a lot of possession, a lot of, it's nice, we pass it about and it looks pretty. Not getting enough at them. And, crosses going and it's gone past me. Get in and get on end of it. Do your best. If you can't get on end of it, at least go to try and get on end of it. So that I found that a bit more than a bit disappointing, really. Turned it round its second half. And as you've said, goalkeeper Morosi, he made some great. When he weren't wasting time, he made some great saves. So what I have got, if it helps, I'll tell you what I've got instant reaction from. He keeps sending us stuff from Carl Bardsley, bless him, who's a Shrewsbury fan. And he's given me an instant reaction. This is what he said on our last show. Well, there we have it. You dominated possession, but we still had the best chances. You didn't, Carl. Our keeper was magnificent. Yeah, he was. And if it wasn't for the stupidity of Perry towards the end, we would have won tonight. We defended well and did everything we could against a far superior footballing side. You're right with that, Carl. Would have taken a point at the start, but can't help feeling that it's 2 points dropped after that. Good luck for the rest of the season. And I've just replied, said, thanks, Carl. It was a frustrating game for me. We had lots of the ball, but seemed to be just going through the motions. First half, Morosi went through. We dropped 2 points, not you, Carl. Not you, Carl.
We've been there how many times this season where we thought we've dropped 2 points, so bless him.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's a passionate Shrewsbury fan, and good luck to him. And good luck to him for the rest of the season. The they're down there, aren't they? They're down there. They're battling for their own lives, like a few clubs are. So
The positive as well, lads, is we've only lost once away all season at Derby. So take that all season.
no, you're going to spoil it for Saturday now, Al, saying that.
Oh, no,
You're setting us up, Al. You're
Jinxing
setting us up.
I can't
So,
wait for it. And cheers.
1-1 and it could have been us sat here going absolutely doolally at a 1-0 defeat that would be totally and wholly unjustified. Nice penalty from Kane. You're thinking Morosi's pulled out, he's been like Gordon Banks for most of March. I'll explain who that is to you, Josh, later.
I know that one.
Oh, good.
All right.
Wow.
That's not like
Bert
Oogie
Troutman.
Boogie Man or whatever it was.
Bert Troutman, you've not heard that one, have you? Anyway.
Ergy Bergy, whatever it was.
Hey, Bert Troutman played with Broughton Neck. There, me and Andy know that.
Oh, that
one.
Man City keeper.
Yeah.
I see, you'd know him.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Oh, I'm impressed. So he were doing all that, and I'm thinking, Herbie is checking about a 2-step run up. I'm thinking, oh, Herbie, please don't mess this up. Please don't mess it up. We really need a point. And especially against, goalkeepers playing after his skin. Great penalty. Dove right way, did everything he could.
Cole's not fighting to take penalty anymore.
So it were a good penalty. And
I don't like them short run-ups, though. They're not for me.
No,
I feel
well,
like
they're
when you do that, I just think it's going high.
What you biting your fingernails, Josh?
No, I just don't like him. I don't like short thingy. And like you said, Andy, keeper having such a good game as well. It one of them where I thought he was going to cap this game off with a fantastic saviour.
Yeah, Herbie sorted him out. Well done, Herbie. Well
That's
done.
Lovely, emphatic penalty. Craig, obviously, as you mentioned, there's a little bit of a gap sort of forming now within the top 6 of. There's almost that breakaway 3 of Portsmouth, Derby, and Bolton, with us sort of leading the next group. Would you say it's more or less trying to consolidate? There's still 15 games left, and we've still got to play. We've got to play all the sides above us again. We've got to play Bolton, Portsmouth, and Derby again, haven't we? So there's still the opportunity to go and take points off them sides, but it feels like there's a little bit of work to do between now and the end of the season. Maybe a little bit too much potentially.
Well, I think that Derby's catchable, because I think Bolton will move above them with games because they've got two games in hand over them. And Derby, the 6 points in front, but we've got a game in hand over them, and like you said, we're going to play them yet. So I think they're catchable. I just think the other two, I think they're going to be on the bike. They seem to be picking up points pretty rapidly and pretty consistently. I think Portsmouth went to Carlisle on the last outing, not tonight. And I watched a few vlogs of people that went to them games, and they're just, like I said, they won 1-0, and they're the sort of results that champions are made of. So I think them and Bolton are going to be automatic. I think we will be looking at playoffs again. Sorry, Andy's wallet. But I think we are the best of the rest of the next bunch. I think Derby, Peterborough, and Oxford. I think it's going to be us 4. Derby, Peterborough, Oxford, and Barnsley are going to be fighting it out for who's good at Wembley and then going to get that final place. But we've like I said, 15 games. All can happen. Look at what happened to Sheffield Wednesday last year. They dropped like a stone. I mean, that could happen to anybody. So we've just got to keep his foot on the gas. And this complacency that creeps in with us, with these lower down teams like Shrewsbury's, we've got to knock it on head. Take every game as if we're playing the top of the table. It's a cup final every game now up until the end of the season, and all can happen. You know what I mean? We just got to keep the pressure on. Don't take his foot off the neck, and keep getting 3 points as much as we can. And then we'll see where we are at the end of the season.
And they've drawn twice, haven't they, with Derby and us in 3-4 days, haven't they?
It seems like they've sort of turned the tide a touch. I think there's one thing that I've noticed this season with us that feels very different from previous seasons when we've had good sides which have done well, even going back to sort of Lee Johnson being in charge. Like I'm thinking more like Lee Johnson, Stendhal, Val, and Michael Duff. Is a thing that when we played sides, we went in first 10, 15 minutes and we set the tone. We were the confident side and went and sort of dictated play from the start. Whereas I feel like this season, it's the exact opposite of, obviously we're giving goals away in the first 10 minutes on a regular basis, and it almost feels like we're always playing with his backs against the wall, but it's from his own doing. Whereas in previous seasons, it's in that first 10, 15 minutes, we've been the ones scoring. And it's like, all right, that's it. First goal's going in. There's 2 or 3 following this now.
It isn't. Went for juggling it first 15, 20 minutes, but sometimes that backfired on us. So it's a bit more cautious, isn't he, Collins? And I think we have been penalised for the fact that we've not gone. I mean, we had a few chances, I think, before they scored, but in a lot of games, it was same on Saturday, wasn't it? We had 2 good chances before we went behind. So it swings and roundabouts. And going back to the league table, Stevenage 53, we're on 57. So below us, they're 4 points behind. And then you've got Orient on 48, which are 9 points behind us. So end of the day, we should be in that playoff spot. If we carry on as we're doing, I'd say at this moment in time, I might eat my words, we're guaranteed a playoff spot, but who knows? You know, with games,
let me click that up just in case.
Well, for me, it's there for taking, isn't it? You know, start saving your money for playoffs and hopefully another trip to Wembley. It's going to be tough to get into top 2, but who knows? As Craig says, some might go on free fall. As long as we can get a run together. And Dominic Pines played tonight at Chesterfield for under 21s.
Oh,
I don't know what score
a new signing.
Donovan Pines. Dominic Donovan.
I wasn't going to say hotel.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I blame Andy's birthday present. Thank you, Andy.
Oh, good, Al. Good.
I'll give benefit of doubt, Al, given that it is 10:30 at night.
I'm an hurdy-gurdy man tonight. Oh, sorry, Andy.
Is it a nice drop, though, Al? What's it like, Al?
It's beautiful. It's crisp, smooth.
Lovely.
Cheers.
Lovely.
If anyone wants any more reviews of anything other than
football, it's a whiskey that's been matured in white wine casks, and I've never come across that before. So I wanted to treat my mate on his 70th birthday. So there
cultured as well.
Very cultured.
Very cultured. Andy, where do you sit on it? Do you think it's going to be playoffs and a very expensive day out for you again?
Oh, goodness knows. I mean, at the very least, I hope so. But I quite like going down to Wembley. It does cost a lot of money, but I quite like that. But you can't count any chickens, can you? Not where we go about it. You know, I think Craig's absolutely right that the top 2 will probably finish up as the top 2. I think Bolton and Portsmouth. Portsmouth have had a blip, but they seem to have come out of their blip now. They had a few weaker results, but they seem to have got the mojo back. So I can see them continuing. Whether we'll have a blip, who knows? You know, yeah, I just don't know. You know, we've drawn a few games that we hope to win. You know, you could say that tonight were a bit of a blip given the way the game went. But let's hope. You know, we've got 2 games coming up that are vitally important. You know, playing a lower, you know, next at bottom in Fleetwood, who get stuck in. You know, wherever else they do, they get stuck in, and then obviously, depending how well we do on that, could make a big difference to what happens at home to Derby. And hopefully, you know, if we can, if we'd have got 4 points out of these 2 away games before we played Derby, I'd be quite happy with that. But that means winning on Saturday. So anything can happen. You know, any team up there can have a blip. Any of them. Peterborough's had a bit of a blip, but I think they'll come back strong because they're a quick side and you know they're getting people's faces. That's what we need to do. We need to get in people's faces and show some grit and die for it, really die for it. Because when we do it, combine that with the skill that we've got, we can be unbeatable, but we've got to combine the 2 for me.
Yeah, you look at the run that we sort of are on as well. It's not it's solid and it's chucked us sort of into that playoff contention now. And speaking of Fleetwood, so moving on to our preview, and I'll pull up the stats pack now. So manager Charlie Adam, who is their 3rd manager of the season, if I'm not mistaken. They're sat 23rd in the league. Recent form, draw, loss, win, draw. Jaden Stockley, top goal scorer of the season with 6. No surprise that he's also a key player with 6 goals and 4 assists. And it looks like Cheltenham's moved to a 3-4-1-2 formation. So, Craig, thoughts about this one? So it feels like we're sort of going around in circles recently of playing sides which we should be expecting to beat, but seem to be coming and struggling. I know the one thing that we do struggle against is the sides who are currently, well, at time of playing them, are the lowest scorers in the league, and we have struggled to beat the two sides we have played that were the lowest scorers when we played them in Exeter and Shrewsbury. So it's not. It's one of them games where we're expecting to win, but recent form's not looking great.
Well, they went 2.5 months without a win. I mean, I think
You won then.
well, the beat Port Vale on third, just after the transfer window shut, after we got Josh Earl. They won the first 2 matches we had him. So we thought, yeah. So, but they drew against Reading tonight, and they lost to Lincoln. The other game when I think they got a player sent off. Yeah, it's yet another game that we should win, but we saw them at Oakwell, and we saw the grit and determination that they come with and that they play with, and we've also see what sort of performances teams come and well we're going to them. So teams play with against us, they all seem to really get the standard when they play against us. You know, especially goalkeepers we've learned recently. So we'll see what Jay Lynch plays like in their goal. Who I think's a decent keeper. I think he.
Oh, I wish you stopped saying that every time you said that. Keeps Rob
Yeah,
Wilson.
I think he were at Bristol City, wasn't he, a few seasons ago, and I thought he were decent when we were in there. But Ben Hennigan is their main centre back. He's a good centre back too. But Jaden Stockley obviously is going to be their key player, and we're going to have. I mean, he's a big target man, and he's similar to Cosgrove. We tried to sign him about 3 seasons ago, I think, and we got beat by Preston North End, which is when we lost Brad Potts to them as well, I think, at the same time, and Liam Lindsay as well. So Preston's been a bit of a Luton-esque team. We're
Leagues
grabbing
of the
players
North.
that we want and nicking players that we have that are really good. So yeah, but it's another game we should win, but we'll see. I think Connell's backing it, so that's gonna be a massive plus. With Connell in team, I mean, my confidence goes sky high because I think he's just that quality of a player that he can turn a team from a bad team to a really good team just by his range of passing. I mean, we missed that today. Like I said, we completely missed the midfield today, but we don't when he's in it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I think it's a good day out for us away fans that go away to Fleetwood as well. I think they all, yeah. Alan's already got his ticket sorted out and his pub sorted out where he's going. So yeah, it should be a good game.
Blackpool first, Craig. Blackpool.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Obviously, as Craig's mentioned, it's a side that we should be beating, and obviously, given that if we are sort of trying to maintain that pressure on the top 2 and the automatic places, it's a team we should be picking 3 points up against. But as Craig mentioned, it's a side that it's getting to. We're saying that about us trying to push for top 2, but they'll be saying the same for trying to survive in this league. Of they're trying to scrap for points, sort of where they can, and probably playing against us is a little bit of a free hit. Of there's no expectation to beat us, but we probably are a side in which they'll be expecting to pick points up against potentially.
It is. It's a big side to play against. We are for them, aren't we? Barnsley, Fleetwood.
I'll tell you something. We're going to pull out. It's their cup final in a minute.
Well, put it this way: tonight we got a late equaliser, and they got a late equaliser against Reading at home, 90+5. So there's fight in their squad. There's fight in their team. You know, they're not going to lay down and let us have an easy victory, have they? It's going to be a tough game at their ground. But what I'm hoping on bench today with McCart, we've got a Connell coming back in. So Connell comes back into the mix. And I'm thinking McCart, they give me an Earl back 3 and get captain Jordan Williams to right wing back. And I think if he gets that right, I think we stand a good chance. It makes us more solid.
There's also potentially a Big Don as well. If
his brother Dominic, get both in.
The Pine brothers that we've signed.
Have you seen that tackle that he did against Sheffield United?
No, I haven't. But if it's
nearly killed him.
Is it
the
late and high?
noise. It's hard. It's a really hard tackle.
Is it fair though?
Yeah, fair.
No, that's not what I'm after. I
Ball
want
left
late
the
and high.
stadium, but it also nearly took the guy's leg with it. So
I want to be a late and high, and it's a straight red. That's what I'm after.
Don't let Connolly hear you say that.
Late high or cynical. Either of them.
Oh no, we don't want them blue cards coming out.
Fleetwood are a team that we should
I've
beat.
already seen blue tonight.
Fleetwood are a team we should beat. The 6 points adrift, and other teams around them have got games in hand. So, but like Alan said, very, very late equaliser. They're playing for their lives. They're fighting for themselves. They're fighting. We've not helped them because we've taken away their defender and their third highest goal scorer. Josh Hill scored 4 goals for them. Let's hope he don't score another for them on Saturday, like Nicky did today. We don't want that. We don't want that, Josh.
He's
Score
the
for
top
us.
scorer at Fleetwood. Only 2 behind Stockley.
That's right. And there's also a player that I've always liked, but he's started to. He's wily. They've got Jack Marriott as well, who I think's a good player. It's I'm not saying he's coming to.
Marriott's moved on. He's gone to Wrexham, I think.
Has he?
Yeah,
I thought you were there. I do apologise. I apologise to all Fleetwood fans, and I thought he was still there.
They shipped a load of players out in January because I think they're preparing for League Two. I think they're just getting all the high wages off.
Well, I hope they are. And they need to tell players that they're preparing for League Two, and have a day off on Saturday then.
No, I'm just watching Cod's vlogs. That's all, and that's what he's saying. So I'll go with his mastery on Fleetwood.
Nappers is in the know.
Yeah, that's it. And it's his club, so he knows better than me.
I didn't realise. So, no doubt, we're hoping to. It being Valentine's Day tomorrow makes it a bit difficult. We're hoping to have an away end with him tomorrow. Tomorrow, either early afternoon. Trying, but who knows if it comes off? It's very possible. So hopefully I'll get a much better lowdown on their team, and if they are fighting as much as I think they are, I hope they're not. I hope I'm wrong on that and all.
Yeah, they got rid of Josh Vella as well.
Because he's a half decent player and all. Yeah. They've still got Sean Rooney at right back though, because I liked him and all. He can put his centre about a bit. Oh, it's interesting. Is it?
You should stop plugging your away ends.
Hey.
I wish you stop plugging your away ends in our main shows.
Well, for once, I'm not plugging it after it's happened.
Don't start to come off. He hasn't said out about shop yet.
It's true. That's the next thing. The next thing on his list. But quick.
Here we go.
Push.
Quality.
To try and stop that happening, Craig, what's your prediction then for Saturday?
I'm going to say a fighting 2-1.
Win?
Yeah, win. Yeah.
Good.
I
thought you were going to say 5.
Yeah. No, I think them days are behind us scoring multiple goals. We seem to like to keep it tight and keep my heart pounding for the whole 90 minutes. So, 2-1. 2-1 win.
2-1 for Craig. He's gone boring. Al, what about you?
Gonna beat Alan, haven't I?
Put it this way: in last few games, we've had chances and not put them away. So I'm going really positive. I think they'll score, but I think we'll score more, and I'm going 4-1.
4-1.
That's what I like to hear. That's it. You guarantee yourself 1 point every week.
It's that whiskey.
Solid.
It's that whiskey that's doing it. It's gone to his head.
You've sabotaged him,
it only takes a sip, doesn't it? And he's away. Bless his cotton socks. He's off.
Well, the Oxford story in a minute, which is not an invitation to talk about it, Al. Andy.
Other spirits are available.
Josh, don't worry about it.
That's true. We could just skip it, to be fair. Insert the last 7 predictions in which you've done.
I can't believe you're saying that. If we can keep Jaden Stockley quiet, they're not going to score, are they? They'll not score, because they've scored a goal a game, but they're not prolific. They've lost 3 games at home in last 6. They've only won 1 in last 6. So it's all there for us, isn't it? It's all there. If we have the grit and the drive and get under them right from start, match them and have some blood and thunder as soon as the first ball's kicked and keep going, add that to our skill, we could beat them easily. So I'm going 2-1.
I know it
Well,
will come in.
We all saw it were coming.
I thought if I go 2-1, he'll not go 2-1. He'll have to go for something else. But no, he's sticking by that 2-1.
I'm lying. I'm not going 2-1. I'm actually going to go 2-1.
It's like a needle in a record stuck in it.
This
Yeah,
is.
that's it.
It's.
No originality, Andy. That's it.
Yeah, no adventure.
He's stuck in his ways, isn't he?
Listen, when I'm
Oh,
having a
what do you
when
expect at his age?
when I'm having a Smithy's fried chicken on Saturday night, with you, Craig, they can talk, Craig. When we win 2-1,
Boring. I think they'll score. Do you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go closer to yours. I'm gonna go 4-2 win. I'm gonna 4-2. Have some. I'll tell you what. That should be worth. Let's get that in. That's worth top at league. That if that comes in, I can't remember last time I've ever scored. Well, ever won 4-2. So double points on that one, Andy.
Be an entertaining game.
Yeah.
If you think so, Josh, I think differently, but don't matter.
I just think maybe double points on
see.
that.
It is now, Andy.
What, Al?
They think it's all over. It is now.
Aye.
Right, we'll be back. Well, Andy will be back with an away
Well,
end.
might be.
Potentially, we'll be back with an away end during the week. He's just trying to sort his Valentine's Day recording out, and we'll be back on Sunday with our reaction to the Fleetwood Town game. And yeah, hopefully 3 more points. Oh God, that cup.
Get your merch in. Hey, listen. Reece Pierce has ordered a what's it? A fleecy hoodie. Looks good. So sort your sends out.
We'll have to get him to model and you can put him on your background.
Support the brand. Get your hands in your pockets.
Barnsley Football Club. Listen, it's our 9th wedding anniversary on Thursday. I want 3 points. Cheers.
I bet it's a free pint. We'll be back on Sunday with our reaction to the Fleetwood Town game. And yeah, hopefully it'll be 3 more points and 3 points closer to the top 2. We'll see you later. You Reds.
Got it in.